Hey everyone, Mike here, Mike's House of Mods, and you probably realize, or maybe you don't, I've actually had this paint scheme on here for actually over 2 years now, I believe, and I'm going to be making a change, but I never really showed you the video on how I Plasti Dip and how I sprayed this on here. So I got some footage from when I painted it, so that's what this video is going to be about. So I'm basically doing a quick rewind of 2 years ago and letting you see spray paint this front and the back with Plasti Dip. Okay, I want to give you a quick look at what comes with the dipyourcar.com's kit, the full car kit. They actually have 3 different kinds, I believe: small, medium, and large cars. I actually picked the small because 1, it's a Sky, and 2, I'm only going to do the top of it. But just to kind of show you what different things they give you the actual sprayer, and inside here is the hose and the compressor as well. That's down there. They give you some kind of a cloth here. It feels cold, so I don't know if it has some kind of moisture stuff on it or whatever. They give you some tape drape stuff that you can use to mask off your car. Some blue painter's tape, mask it off as well. They give you a stir for the cans of the paint, another stir. They actually give you another kit here. This is kind of like extra parts. So if you need to make any changes, or if you've been using it for a while and things wear out, extra parts there. They give you a little cone filter for pouring it in. They give you a pre-wash thing here. It's actually supposed to be using it before you start masking your car. They give you a pre-dip spray, which you actually use to clean your car before you actually start dipping. And the gallons, I actually got 3 gallons. I got your base black, 2 gallons of the base black, and then the top coat's going to be the shadow black. And then as a bonus, they give you a little t-shirt, dipyourcar.com t-shirt. So that's pretty much the kit. I'm going to go ahead, I'm getting ready to mask off the car, so I'm going to go ahead and do this pre-wash, pre-masking kind of stuff here. Looks like I'm going to use this here first, and then I'm going to use the pre-dip spray and go from there. Alright, I'm all done with the pre-wash, got that all done, and it's fairly dry. It's dry enough now. I'm not actually going to be painting tonight anyway. Just to give you an idea of what I'm going to be doing, basically I'm going to start at this corner of this little piece right here and kind of work my way down the hood to the inside of the light, and then kind of bring it down, and I'm going to bring it across, kind of come around the front here, and then back up the other side. There's going to be a lot of masking involved. Obviously, I'm going to have to be very careful as far as getting that curve just right so it matches the other side. So what I'm going to do is use the pinstripe to make my first cut line of where I'm going to be going, and then I'll mask off the rest of it with masking tape and that draping tape and whatever. I'm going to basically put 8 coats of Plasti Dip. I'm going to have 4 of the base black and then 4 of that shadow black. But once you're on your last coat, you leave it wet, and then you actually pull this off while it's a wet coat, and that's supposed to give you a nice clean edge with the paint. So hoping that works, and if it doesn't, I have a backup plan anyway. Got my little makeshift paint booth just so I don't have to paint this outside. I've heard all kinds of horror stories of dust and everything else getting on the paint whenever you're painting outside. Don't need that to happen. So I'm going to go ahead, start masking, and get this baby painted. Alright, so I pretty much have my lines figured out where I want to go, and everything on the left side is going to be black. Everything on the right side I'm not going to touch. So kind of have it going down around the front and back up on this side all the way to that corner piece right there, or this little pointy piece. Then I have it kind of starting here, coming all the way across, and coming down all the way to the bumper, actually the bottom, kind of where the and coming across, up and around here, and then stopping it at this corner right there. Anyway, so now that that's all figured out, the only thing I have to do now is mask off everything else that will not get painted. Okay, all the prep work is done. I got everything all masked off here. As you can see, it's painstaking. It takes a lot. I mean, it's amazing how long it takes to do something as simple as masking off a car, especially when you want to do something with stripes and stuff like that. But anyway, that is all done. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the paint. Alright, so I got the base coat done, and the back looks really good as far as smoothness, runs, no runs or anything like that. As you can see, it looks very smooth. And the only place that had a little bit of a hiccup was right, let's see if I can get on the camera or not, on that certain angle right there. If you can, let's see, right there, if you can kind of see. And I think what happened is, as I was spraying, my gun kind of hit the paint, unfortunately, and that caused a little bit of a glitch there. So I'm going to try to fix that. And then the front is about 95%, looks really good, nice and smooth, no textures or anything like that. Coming down here with the vents, those look really good. I'm going to go ahead and clean the equipment and get started again tomorrow. Okay, so the painting is finished, and I have the mask off, the masking, the tape, and everything. And there were a few issues, which I was kind of expecting. And one of the things that I did is I used a 1/4 inch, and I would definitely change this next time. I used a 1/4 inch pinstripe for getting that nice edge here. And in some parts, it looks really good. I mean, that is a really clean and sharp edge. Some parts, not so much, like that right there in its beginning. And the problem that happened in this area is actually, as I was pulling the tape broke. So then I had to kind of scratch it off to kind of get it started again, and I would pull it and it broke. And by that time, this paint edge started drying. I couldn't wet it down again because I already had the mask off of there. So that kind of screwed me. But then when the tape was complete and didn't break, the line looks really good. And of course, it happened again down there as well. This line looks really good, this entire line on this side. I mean, this is where it actually did pull and didn't break at all as far as that little pinstripe. So next time I would probably use either a 1/2 inch to get a little bit thicker stripe so it wouldn't break as I'm pulling it, or there's actually, and I found out afterwards, there's actually a product on Amazon that they sell that's specifically for creating these kind of lines. And the reason I didn't use the blue tape is because you couldn't kind of get that curve down in this area with that blue tape. That's more of a straight thing. So this back here, a little bit of an issue with that line, but that's okay. I'm actually going to do something else with that as well. The back part here, I knew I was going to have problems with it, and as you can see, it's peeling a little bit on these things here, simply because as soon as I raised up the trunk, it scraped against the actual top. And I was kind of expecting that. Here's actually, whoops, there it's really bad over there. So I have something I'm going to do to kind of solve that as well. This, you know, again, I was having a little bit of issues with this line. You can see these little bits and pieces here because, again, it was drying when I didn't want it to be drying. It was drying as I was trying to get that tape off of there. So that's definitely something I would do differently in the future. This corner here, this actually turned out absolutely terrible. I mean, as soon as I took the tape off, it just peeled right up. So I just took that off. So what I can do is I'm just going to go ahead and mask just this little area and just respray it, and that should be fine. That's the other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to eventually take this off. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to kind of cut around here to get this, to get a nice sharp edge. and this was obviously filling that hole, so I could peel this whole thing off. So this if it works, is going to be all silver, the way it's supposed to be, or chrome, whatever you call it. Anyway, like I said, this was the first one that I did, and I was a little ambitious, you know, trying to get these lines and stuff. It wasn't like I was just painting the hood and being done with it. I actually had some little bit difficult areas. Yeah, I didn't have the camera running on this side of the car, but you can see I got the red stripe down on this side. It looks really good, and I continued it through the door, and then eventually I'm going to be going off to the back. I think this looks pretty good, and what I'm going to do now, actually I have it kind of finished right here, and I still got to do around this side, but I'm going to wait until I get that one section fixed up here. You can see I kind of blocked it off a little bit. It's this stupid little thing right there. So what I'm going to do is when I'm ready to paint, I'm just going to kind of block off this area and then just spray real quick a bunch of coats just on this little area here, so that right there, so that it kind of blends in with the rest of the hood. So I'm going to kind of repair this piece right here, and to do that I'm actually going to use a Q-tip and some paint thinner, because what I need to do is, because there's, that's kind of hard here, but because there's a kind of an edge there of the Plasti Dip, what I want to do is smooth that down so it's nice and smooth going towards the actual hood. Otherwise it's going to see that, you're going to see that bump once I paint over top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and like I said, just kind of smooth it off with some paint thinner, dry that up, and I already have it masked off on this side, so then I'm just going to put some mask around here as well, as far as painting that. And like I said, I just want to get enough on there so that it kind of gets rid of that hump thing of where the edge of the paint is, to make it nice and smooth. Okay, I'm pretty much done with the painting and all of the touch up and everything that had to be done. The red stripe is on, even in the back here. All I have left to do is put on the wing. And I was originally going to add silicone on the inside, or from the inside, for the screws, but I don't think I can get it through the hole in the those inside holes that are in there for the caulking gun or whatever, or the silicone caulking gun. So I think what I'm going to do is, instead, I'm actually just going to do it right around the holes on the outside here, instead, to kind of make it as waterproof as much as I can. And the wing itself has that foam feet on there anyway, so I think it's going to be pretty much watertight anyway. So I will do that. Let me go ahead and put some silicone around there and get this wing installed. Alright, so there you go. That's how I went from my regular single stripe that was in the center to the way it looks now. And believe it or not, it's going to be changing once again. So Plasti Dip, it does last a really long time. Like I said, this was at least 2 years. It's been in the rain, it's been in the cold, it's been outside, it's been doing autocross and all this other kind of stuff. But now it's kind of wearing down, and I'm looking for a change. So anyway, if you like this video, please hit that subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and you'll be following me if you hit that notification bell. It'll let you know the new videos that I come up with, and you can check out all the new things that I'm going to be doing on my Sky for 2022.